Imagine walking into a forest, not a real forest, a forest inside a video game. But this one hits different from anything you've played before because no developer ever designed it. Every tree you pass has its own history, the way it grew, the storms it survived, the animals nesting in its branches. Each stretch of the woods has its own wildlife and its own weather. And far beyond the mountains on the horizon sits an entire city, full of people with their own lives. A city that did not exist until the moment you decided to travel there. No one built it in advance. It was created from nothing, the instant you chose to go looking. This is the promise of something researchers call a world model, and it could change what a video game even is. Picture the year 2073, nearly 50 years from now. By then, a game might contain no pre-built maps at all. No scripted characters reading lines a writer gave them. No single story planned from beginning to end. Instead, the game could grow a living universe around you, one step at a time, full main character energy, shaped by wherever you go and whatever you do. To see why that would be such a leap, we first need to understand how the games you play today actually work. Underneath, every game you have ever played is a collection of things that people made by hand. Think of a movie set, or a theme park. Artists sculpt every mountain. Designers place every tree and every building exactly where they want it. Writers script what each character says. Programmers write the rules for how it all behaves. The results can be stunning, but every piece of it is fixed in place before you ever press start. And because it is all built ahead of time, the world has edges. Walk far enough and you hit an invisible wall or a mountain you can never climb. The world feels enormous, but it is finite. Once you have seen it all, there is nothing new underneath. A world model promises the opposite. Not a world that was finished before you arrived, but one that is created as you explore it. So how could that be possible? Look at what artificial intelligence can already do today, in 2026. Modern AI can generate images that look astonishingly real. Ask it for a snowy village at sunset, and in seconds it paints one that never existed. It can even generate short clips of moving video, and honestly, the good ones kind of go hard. But there is a catch, and it is a big one. These systems have almost no memory. Imagine a painter who is brilliant but forgets everything the moment they blink. You ask for a house with a red door, and they paint a gorgeous red door. You look away, ask for the same house again, and now the door is blue, the window has moved, the tree in the yard is gone. Each picture is lovely on its own, but nothing stays consistent from one to the next. That is roughly where generated video is today. It can dream up a room, but it cannot keep that room the same from one moment to the next. Furniture drifts, doorways vanish, and the whole space quietly rearranges itself the instant your back is turned. This points to the real challenge. There is an enormous difference between generating a single beautiful scene and maintaining an entire working universe. A scene only has to look right for a moment. A universe has to stay true for hours, for days, for years. And to do that, it needs a few things that come naturally to us, but are surprisingly hard for a machine. The first is something psychologists call object permanence. It is one of the earliest things a baby learns. Play peekaboo with a young infant, hide behind your hands, and they believe you have simply vanished. Soon, though, they learn the truth. You still exist, even when they cannot see you. A world model needs that same understanding. When you leave a room, the room cannot disappear. It has to be there, exactly as you left it, when you return. It also needs lasting memory. Chop down a tree, and the stump should still be there tomorrow. Help a stranger, and they should remember your kindness the next time you meet. It needs cause and effect. Light a fire, and it should spread. Anger a village, and word should travel from person to person. And it needs consistency, in its people and its places. Characters must stay themselves. The same face, the same personality, the same relationships. And the land must hold together, so the mountain that was to the north an hour ago is still to the north now, and not somehow behind you. So how could a machine hold all of that in mind at once? The likely answer is to split the work in two. Think of a theater production. There is what the audience sees, the actors, the lights, the painted backdrop. But behind the curtain is a crew that never appears on stage, tracking every prop and every entrance, keeping the story consistent night after night. A world model in 2073 might work the same way, with several systems running together. The first is the visual model. This is the stage itself. It generates what the player sees, painting the forest and the city in real time. Behind it sits the world state model, the memory of the entire world. It quietly keeps track of every object, every person, and every place, and how each one has changed. The player never sees it, but it is what stops the world from dissolving the moment they look away. Then come the character models. Every important person would have an inner life, their own beliefs, their own relationships, their own goals. They would not be background NPCs running the same lines on a loop. They would react to you and to one another like real people. And there is a physics model, the rule book of what can actually happen. A dropped cup falls. Fire needs fuel. A river flows downhill. It keeps the world honest. And perhaps the most elegant idea of all, the world only expands when someone enters it. The city beyond the mountains is not sitting there fully built, waiting for you. It is drawn into being the moment you go looking, like a map sketched just one step ahead of your footsteps, always keeping pace, never running out of road. None of this needs magic, or some science we have never heard of. It is really just an extension of where technology is already heading. It would take enormously powerful computer chips, the kind that train today's largest AI systems, but many generations stronger. And it would take world models far beyond anything we have in 2026, trained on staggering amounts of information about how our world looks and behaves. Faster machines, smarter models, the same road we are already on, simply traveled much further. But here, the story takes a darker turn. Because a world this powerful would not just respond to you, it could begin to study you. You have already seen a small version of this. Think of the apps on your phone that always seem to know which video to show you next, keeping you scrolling long after you meant to stop. The algorithm learned exactly what holds your attention and quietly arranged itself around it. Now imagine an entire world with that same instinct. A world watching what thrills you, what frightens you, what you grow attached to, what makes you feel proud. And slowly, without ever announcing it, it begins shaping itself around keeping you there. It might learn that a jolt of fear keeps you alert, so danger arrives at just the right moments. It might notice you have grown fond of a certain character, so that character is placed in peril again and again because it keeps you coming back. Fear, attachment, achievement, the simple inability to put the game down. All of it could be gently tuned, not for your happiness, but for your engagement. A world built to be endless is remarkable. A world quietly learning how to keep you inside it forever is, low-key, something we would need to be very careful about. So how close are we, really? Honestly, not even close. Today, in 2026, our best systems cannot keep a single generated room intact for even a minute, let alone hold an entire planet steady for years. The forgetting problem is far from solved. A living, remembering, endless world is still just that, a dream. But it is no longer an impossible one. Every piece of it, generating worlds, remembering them, filling them with characters who think, is something researchers are chipping away at right now in labs all over the world, and the direction is unmistakable. So picture it one more time. You walk into a forest that no one designed. Every tree carries its own history. Beyond the mountains waits a city that did not exist until you chose to find it. Maybe that world is 50 years away, maybe more. But somewhere between the games we build by hand today and the worlds that will one day build themselves, a question is waiting for us. When a world can grow without limit and can learn everything about the person inside it, the real question may not be whether we can build it. It may be whether we would ever want to leave.